Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen, domestic violence is something that's been around for a long time. It seems like, just human beings can't get along, and it wouldn't be no different between men and women. But sometimes, things get physical, and they shouldn't. On my channel, I try to bring light to some of these stories, and this story right here knocked my socks off, and this one right here is hard to stomach. It's about a woman that moved from Georgia to Houston to get away from her husband or ex-husband at the time. And this gentleman up here is the guy we're talking about, Antoine Lane. In my opinion, this guy is not a good person at all. This guy right here, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what he did, but this is just something you got to see. This dude is on a whole new level when it comes to can't stop, won't stop. This dude is like Rockefeller Records back in the day. Check this out.
Only on 13, our Liliana Pearson spoke to the prosecutor who helped put a man behind bars after he broke into his ex-wife's apartment and sexually assaulted her. And in fact, Liliana, you were told that on the same day that he pled guilty to intentional manslaughter in Georgia, he actually flew here to Texas to attack her?
That's right. We're told that the victim and the person who is now charged had a brief marriage in the early 2000s in Georgia, but that they got divorced and the now ex-wife moved to Texas for a new life. Then between the early 2000s and 2021, we're told that the person who is now charged had about 30 encounters with police, which led to 5 felony charges. One of those felony charges was for murder. We're told that he hired one man to murder another. That murder charge was eventually appealed and overturned, but he did then plead guilty to intentional manslaughter in 2021. We're told the day that he took that plea deal, he then hopped on a plane, flew to Texas, and attacked his ex-wife.
Antoine Lane is accused of abusing his ex-wife as long as he has known her. This jailhouse phone call given only to ABC 13 detailing one harrowing night where he strangled her in the early 2000s.
And when I choked her, she passed out. When she passed out, I panicked. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I thought she was dead.
But Tiana Sanford with the Montgomery County DA's office tells us it was the final attack in 2021 that pushed his ex to the limit. The same day he pled guilty to intentional manslaughter in Georgia, he hopped on a plane, went to his ex's house, and raped her.
He did so while threatening her life, threatening injury towards her.
During the violent struggle, she was thrown into her bathroom wall so hard she went through it. She was able to go to work the next day where she decided this was the last straw. She confided in a coworker and Lane was arrested at her house.
But she shared with the jury that she thought, what if the next time I don't get out of the house? What if I don't make it out of the house the next time?
During the court proceedings, Lane would go through 5 attorneys, the last of which he attempted to physically attack. The jury reviewed Lane's previous record and current case. They found him guilty, and he will now serve life in prison. He's eligible for parole in 35 years.
This defendant has a pattern of rules not applying to him, a pattern of not taking no for an answer and demonstrating that he does not care who he harms in the process.
We're also told in that year leading up to the 2021 attack that there was one consensual visit between the two. Investigators say during that visit that Lane actually installed hidden cameras inside the victim's smoke detectors and was monitoring her. We're told it's video from those hidden cameras that did help ultimately put Lane behind bars.
Guys, that's the story of Antoine Lane from Georgia, now serving life over domestic abuse, among other things. I'm sorry about that. This guy flew from Georgia after just getting sentenced to manslaughter. Jumped on the plane, threatening the whole way. Goes to Houston, beats up the girl, and takes the coochie. Make it make sense. You can't. People like this, I don't know if they have death wishes or not. I mean, now luckily they said this guy got locked up, had like 30 different interactions with police. He don't seem like he that old. What he in his early 40s, you think? Man, come on, man. A lot of us out here have a loser mentality, and a lot of people don't take no for an answer. It's like sometimes you have relationships, and we all been through them, where you got a person that just won't leave you alone after everything is said and done. She done divorced the man and went to another state. He comes from where he's at and goes and bothers her. They said this woman went through 20 years of hell dealing with this man, trying to get away from him. What do you do when somebody keeps putting themselves back in your life and you don't want them in it? I mean, at what point does the person who's being victimized have a say? Really? I mean, there are men out here, and I don't understand how men do this. There are men out here that know somebody don't want to deal with them, but they do things to put themselves in the immediate vicinity with somebody, whether they directly go there or like try to act like it's circumstance of why they're around that person. And then the antagonization starts all over again. Said he threw this woman through a bathroom wall. What are you, Mr. T from the A-Team? Seriously, at what point do you leave people alone? I wonder how many people are in prison right now for taking the life of somebody who wouldn't leave them alone. And that's the thing, man. Crimes like that, I would let people out. If the person was peaceful and you disrupt their peace and you keep doing it, at what point does somebody say, ow, when it's a splinter in their hand and want to remove it? Guy went through 5 lawyers. The last lawyer he tried to fight, just building a case on him having bad character. And that's what got him caught up and having life in prison right now. That's the thing. When you do crimes, the crime is bad enough. But what you start doing when people start to evaluate you, or people that are put in a position to help you in the situation, you start turning on them and doing all this other stuff. That's when nobody cares no more. Think about it. This guy got in trouble repeatedly. At what time do you not like going to jail? I went to prison one time. I was like, yo, this ain't for me. And I never went back. But some people don't see it like that. Like I told you, some people think cyclical. Their mind goes in circles. Depending on whatever the stimulus is, it'll bring them right back to square one. And this is a perfect example of that. How you beat somebody. This is another thing I never could understand about men. How you beat somebody up and then want to be around them again like everything gonna be okay. Is that easy to clean wipe a slate clean and start all over? You can't start all over when somebody got a history of trauma when they see your fucking face. Man, it's like people are stupid. There's women out here that do that too. Tear your stuff up, scratch up your car. I love you. Can we start over? No, you're lucky you're breathing. Either way, man, this lady's lucky to be alive. And I'm for real. I mean, one of the things that came out to me that I was thinking about this was, how did he know where she lived? But then again, they said in the thing, a special visit was set up for them to meet. And that's when he put the smoke, he took the smoke detectors and put cameras in them. And that's what Diddy meant. So I don't know if it was a business decision between both of them where she had to see him. But I mean, if you're dealing with this type of stress and strain with an unpredictable person, why would you meet him again? So I think it had to have something to do with some type of business where their name was in it, or something where they had to take care of, where documents had to be signed. That's just my opinion. But either way, this lady's lucky to be alive. And this dude right here is on the shelf where he belongs, collecting dust. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you ladies, be careful. A lot of you dudes, be careful too, because this type of behavior don't have a sex attached to it. Crazy people are crazy people. So keep your heads on the swivel. If it don't seem right, get the fuck out of there. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.